It's the ultimate festival of the wheels and the Sedaris Hit Music Sun 969. It is our first ever Red CentreNATS on the back of the Summer Nats, 29 years long and strong. And already the doors swung open at Blatherskite Park. The crowds are flooding in.
Oh, it means a lot to the city of Alice. It means a lot to the people in Northern Territory. I think there's a real love of motorsport down here. It's palpable. And they're all talking about this is year one, but it'll be the first year of many.
We're pretty good around here with our hidden cars and everything around, but this is fantastic. This is something that's really going to bring this town alive.
It is just amazing to come to a town and feel so welcome. There's no doubt this event has already, in first year, got a must-go.
I always say Alice is the Paris end of the outback, man. This is eclectic. This is where the people are. They come from all points of the compass to be here. We don't exist, we thrive.
Have a great day.
Oh, thank you.
About 18 months ago, the Chief Minister of the Northern Territory came to us at the CentreNATS and said, we've been working on an idea for an automotive lifestyle event in the heart of Australia.
I remember speaking to Adam Giles, and he had this vision, and I thought, yeah, it might happen, it might not. Here we are. Unbelievable event.
I'm amazed at how much people have embraced the Red CentreNATS. It's just gone through the veins of everybody, whether they're motorsports fans, enthusiasts or otherwise, and they've really taken it on board. The town are loving it economically. The kids are loving seeing the cars go past.
The single biggest feature of all is that we love to hang out with our cars and each other, and it's a great honour that the primary program that we put together in the Summer Nats is still the basis of which people run certain events. It's a festival, it's not a car show.
See a car on the track and man, I get goosebumps. That's the pinnacle. It's just amazing. It's just the feeling you get inside. It's just, yeah, just so overwhelming and just emotional.
Motorsports is a fantastic way for the community to come together. It's also a great economic earner because people spend a lot of money on their motor vehicles and their passions and their dreams. I got behind it, supported it. I'm an enthusiast myself.
I think the Chief spent some of his misspent youth in Canberra and had been to a couple of Nats back in the 90s.
I think we can grow the sport and grow it locally to get the biggest and best motorsports participants and enthusiasts in the country.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name's Phil Marnie. I'm the Security Operations Manager of CentreNATS. Thank you for welcoming us to Alice Springs for the Red CentreNATS. It's certainly our privilege to be here.
We're driving on our way to the city cruise at the MRV to start, and I said to the blokes in the car, I said, oh, you know, it'd be really good if we can fill the centre of town. That'd be awesome. It'd be awesome. We're driving along, and it's like 4:30 and there's people, bits on the side of the road, and we go, okay, this will be all right. We get to the MRV and there's 300 cars queued up, ready to go, which is massive. And then by 5:30 when we roll out, we turn left and there's just buggers everywhere. They're everywhere.
It's just great to see. I mean, we all try for so many things in life to make a change and make a difference, and particularly from a political point of view, everything's like wafer thin in terms of your outcomes and what you see. But to get to the point today where the start of the parade, 400 cars plus, it's just great to see.
The opportunity to be able to get out in the open road with some of these cars when they normally wouldn't be able to, I think that's a huge draw card. And I think too, we're in the centre of Australia, it's a pretty unique place, and I think it's probably one of the ultimate road trips in a lot of ways, so people have made that effort, and I think we're seeing that come together here with all the cars and lots of people from interstate and lots of excited people.
I think it's about a 6 or 7K route, and there were people lining the streets from start to finish, and it just got bigger and bigger. Barbecues, people in couches on the back of tilt trays. Went past the hospital, there's a guy in a hospital bed on a drip with a nurse on the side of the road. And that's, you know, all parts of the Alice community come out, young people, old people, the tourists, the Aboriginal community, everyone was out to celebrate. It was really cool. Met a bloke this morning who's had his car for 10 years and he's never driven it on the road until this week. And that's what they do it for. They build these cars to show because they want to spend time with the mates and all that. But in the end, they want to drive them, and they got to do it here.
As soon as they said it was on, I knew I was going to drive my car out here and be a part of it. I thought, oh, maybe there'll be 200 cars, but I think we've well and surely doubled that. And the whole vibe is amazing. This cruise through the city took us back to the really early days of CentreNATS when we used to cruise down Northbourne free for all. Just without any dramas, people lined the streets, the whole town came out, so it was spectacular.
I guess one of the most exciting things about this whole event and the cruise was these wild blown cars being able to get permits to drive on the street. I can't believe Macca's has just been inundated with all these blown cars going through the drive-through at Macca's. How good is that?
You get a bit of a buzz out of it, just getting the reaction from the locals, you know, seeing these sort of cars. And that was a good thing about the old days of CentreNATS, you know, like every year was cruising down Northbourne.
You know, we couldn't do this sort of thing back home, so to come up here and be able to drive on the streets and, yeah, just not get harassed is unbelievable. You know, the local community have gotten right behind it and they seem real excited about it, and we're excited too because it's something that, you know, it's out of reach for us back home, so it's incredible. It's a great feeling.
I've done City Cruise in Canberra. I've never seen anything like it. It was turning that corner to the main street and seeing people hanging off roofs, waving and like crowding us into a one-lane street was absolutely incredible, and we loved every minute of it.
To drive these blown machines on the street legally, just cruising around, don't have to be a clown or nothing, just nice idle cruise through town. It's just waking into that. We went to Macca's for lunch and yeah, awesome.
My main aim coming to this show was to go through Macca's in my car, and I've done it about 4 times.
You've probably eaten more Macca's this week than ever.
I wasn't even hungry, it's just the novelty of it's unreal.
The street parade, having 300 cars in the street parade, I don't think we've ever seen anything like that in Australia. Like, because the size, like the CentreNATS, which has an awesome big parade, we're only allowed to do 200. So this is like half as big again in Alice Springs.
Champion here at Red CentreNATS is very similar to CentreNATS. It's again based on judging, the driving events, and here is also drag racing and people's choice.
It's all about the quality of the car. What type of car, I don't think it really matters, but if it's a well-built car and then you can get out there and prove that it drives, stops, handles like a normal street car, that's what it's all about. So yeah, it's just a well-built car that is actually drivable as well. It's still a dream come true. Mate, I'm still meeting people till today that recognise me just from winning CentreNATS and you know, get congratulated from people. So yeah, mate, it's still on cloud 9.
This is Agitate 2.0. Most people will remember it as the blue over silver. Colour is called Texas Tea, which is a new colour for House of Colour. And it is something that no one's seen, very, very different. We contrast it with the cream leather interior and suede, and also kept the funky stereo system, as everyone calls it. I can speak for the show side and setting up a car like this is a 9-hour setup. It's not, we just don't rock up with a clean car, put it on stand and we're done. It's time, it's money, it's a lot of effort that goes into these things, and you know, it's not just a walk in the park for all of us. This is work for us. We actually had to do the street driving events today, and also we've got to do the drag racing. So, plus we also got to make it look like a pure elite car. So it's a long, long weekend, but see how we go.
I've brought up to the red CentreNATS a HK Monaro. It's called the Nitro Ground Shaker. It's 8,000 horsepower and we're ready to put on a good show this weekend. The build process of the car was, it was campaigned as a door slammer by Grant O'Rourke, who built the car from the ground up pretty successfully. We bought the car as a rolling shell and was always going to put a Hemi in it for burnouts. And I was caught up with 4-time Australian Top Fuel champion Darren Morgan. And we had a chat about putting it on Top Fuel, and I just thought he was crazy.
Peter rang up and said about putting a nitro engine one using old parts, and it's always a little scary, these engines. A lot of people seem to skimp on the parts, and you know the drama, you've seen it on TV, the fires and people upside down and skidding on oil and all those things, and we talked him into putting something a little better in it. This car's got the engine, the last time we ran in Perth, the last time we ran our dragster, we come runner-up one day and won the next day. This is a short that's in this car, so it's pretty good stuff, like as good as the country can run, I guess.
Why nitro? What we do is we don't cross the finish line first. We're all about noise and spectacle and vibration and entertaining the crowd. So it's been my experience and most other people's experience that have experienced Top Fuel, that unbelievable vibration and noise, and I thought, why not? You know, let's put it in a donut, in a burnout car, and let's see if we can relay some of that excitement to what we do.
It's such a long time coming, and then the build-up of, you know, unveiling the car here at the red CentreNATS this weekend, and the hope behind the scenes that, you know, everything does go as we've planned, and to give everyone such a buzz of this new car. Hopefully it'll just blow them out of the water, as they say.
It's fantastic. It's the best natural drug you can get. To share that with my wife, to hug her, and to feel her just shaking like mad. It really is a really special thing. It's really cool. It makes it easy too when you need a new blower or something. Yeah, okay. It's pretty cool.
My name's John Kerwin Walker, aka Snapper. They call me Snapper for a lot of different reasons, but fishing. I drive a 1948 FX, and I'm from Darwin in Northern Territory, and I'm trying for Grand Champion. The old FX I've had for a fair few years. I've had it for 18 years now. We get asked a lot about the number plate. Is it snot or is it boogie? Does it go? Yeah, it's a bit of fun. Turbo 350. Triangulated 4-bar 9-inch. One of the good features of the car is the suspension work that was done on it originally. Makes it a very nice car to drive. It's something that we go out and go for a cruise in and take it to the shops. We go out on Sunday to a lunch somewhere. So yeah, it does get driven quite a lot. I'm just really enjoying playing with the car and being able to drive it in all the events and show people that, you know, it could be good, it can be good, and you can use it. If I won Grand Champion, it would be something that you never forget things like that. You know, you can go to car shows, enjoy them, but to be even in that era of being able to be accepted into that sort of side of things, man, that's just insane.
The CentreNATS has begun to represent, you know, a large part of the Australian automotive community. We've got guys from the V8s down here, Jason Bright, Marcus Ambrose, Mark Beretta. They're all here and looking and enjoying and being a part of it.
I tell you what, it just ranks up there for the enthusiasm, the kind of cars that are here, and the backdrop. I mean, we're in the middle of the outback at a drag strip watching these cool cars run past. It's been a lot of fun this weekend.
You know, been made the motorsport ambassador for the Northern Territory, and you know, it's just one of the great events that we've got up here with the Red CentreNATS. Obviously V8 Supercars have been going for a while, and the Pink Desert Rally, but you know, this one's been added to the calendar, and it's just a great event.
I think it's just got years and years of success, and I think that once the word spreads about the fun of this event, the quality of this event, the quality of the cars, I think you'll see a lot of great years ahead with this event, and it could be one of the premier you know, shows in the country in the not too distant future.
I've seen a little bit about it, and I've seen some of the cars that are going to be doing burnouts, and you know, it looks like it's going to be one hell of a show.
Lynchy.
How you going?
Mark Beretta, mate. How are you?
Yep, Andrew Lynch.
Good to meet you.
Yeah, you too.
All I've heard about you, mate, is that you are wild. Is that fair?
I don't see it that way, but apparently it comes across like that,
right.
You're about to find out, by the way.
Right, I can't wait. And what are we doing today?
Oh, we're just going to go for a nice Sunday drive out on the burnout pad. Going to make a bit of smoke and have a bit of fun.
Right. Really? Is it time?
It's time.
All right, let's do this.
All
let's
right.
go, Lynchy. All I've heard is this guy is a magician behind the wheel, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what it's like from here. I've seen it from outside and seen the videos, but this is a real treat to be in here. But what do you really love about doing this?
Oh, I don't know. You'll know by the end of this burnout.
Rock and roll. We're off to the party. What could go wrong? Seriously, that is unbelievable.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
Yep. We just sit around. It's
Man.
like a Sunday drive, except a little bit more intense.
I don't know how you do that. I have no idea how you have that much control over a car.
Well, when you've been doing it for however long, it's just, you know where it's going to go.
I get the whole thing, but the crowd there, they just love it and they're cheering you on.
Absolutely.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Adrenaline rush.
Oh, mate, we're a team now. When do we go again?
Let's
go. More rubber. We've got to keep going.
More bottles.
Good stuff. Thanks, buddy. Bloody awesome. Unbelievable. I'll tell you how good it was. Have a look at this. There was rubber there a couple of minutes ago. It is absolutely incredible. His control of the car is like nothing you've ever seen. The way he can work the wheel and keep it all together, doing that is like nothing I've ever seen before. It was a privilege to be in the car with him, and I'll never forget that. And I want to do it again. Thanks so much. That was awesome. I feel like I'm blooded, I'm into it. You'll never get rid of me.
The idea was to build a purpose-built burnout car, and this is the end result. You talk to a lot of people that build cars, and it starts with one thing and one thing leads to another, and yeah, it snowballed out of control, and this is what we've ended up with. It's powered by a big block Ford, Hemi heads. It's a 1671 blower, alcohol injected. We think it's about 1600 at the moment, more than enough. Well, hopefully we're going to get down to the burnout pad later on this afternoon and have a go down there, see if we can't finish a skid.
It hasn't really been done on this level before. It is the world's most powerful burnout car. We're going to have a crack at it. We can do nothing more. This is the absolute best we can do. I'm as prepared as best I can possibly be. That's all I can promise. I don't expect to set the car, the world on fire. I'm hoping to go there and put on a great show and the crowd be thoroughly entertained, and I'll feel like I've won.
The difference between an alcohol engine and a nitro engine, it can produce more than double its horsepower. So you drain alcohol out of it and put nitro straight in it at the right volume, of course. You can over double the horsepower, so that's amazing. Got fuel drags to go 2.5 on the Richter scale leaving the line, it's badass shit.
was, yeah, for someone that's never done a donut in it, wow, hang on, that was great. This man is the reason I have no money. The first time I went to the show, the CentreNATS, I was hooked, so you're the reason I got no money.
I didn't mean it.
You did mean it, you're a bad man. Thanks a lot.
Now it's time for something that this massive crowd here in Alice Springs has been waiting for. The burnouts, the highlight of the Red CentreNATS is go. Aaron Mackley joining me in commentary, and it's exterminate to get us started.
Yeah, great to be up here in Alice Springs, Chad, and it's Damien Piscineri, all the way from Western Australia. He's been doing fairly well lately. Made it into the CentreNATS Masters last year by qualifying at the CentreNATS Collie event. And this is a fairly tough setup, the blown methanol setup up the front of this XD Falcon. Good consistent reps, that's what we like to see. Not on and off the throttle, nice consistent stuff.
And plenty of smoke. These are the things that the judges will be looking for as he tries to peer through the thick blanket of fog.
Yeah, it's pretty tough out on that pad. The barriers are really close by. Not a lot of wind about. That's the view we want.
Oh, and one or two little flashes of flame starting to light up. He is completely smoked in. He's lost a little bit of that momentum as a result, so that'll start to hurt his scores a little bit in terms of car control.
It sure will. He won't know where he is. He's not going to risk caving that nice XD into a barrier. So he's just going to bang the tyres off the back and hope for the best.
Either way, the judges might mark him down. The crowd certainly don't care. They've got the smoke, they've got the sound. Exactly what they've come to Alice Springs to see. And here, listen to this thing scream.
Yeah, what a spectacle it is under the lights too. Get to see a bit of a flame out the exhaust, especially with these methanol cars.
And Aaron, those tyres are gone. Burnouts in Alice Springs. The crowd go up as one. They absolutely love their skids here. The Red CentreNATS. This is always going to be one of the big highlights. The crowd enjoying it in their own unique way.
Yeah, and there was a big tip in from Damien in the XD Falcon. Unfortunately, he got stuck in the smoke, which is no detriment to his burnout. He was just making so much of it, he just couldn't find his way out.
Time for some tough Tirana. And it comes in the form of Darren Green, 38 years old, also from WA.
Yeah, another one from WA who's qualified for the Masters this year. Again, with his performance at CentreNATS over in Collie. This is a tough car. This is a really tough car. He's switched over from the methanol carbies to the injector hat, and he's really got this combination sorted out. Let's have a listen.
Ducking for cover in the crowd, blocking their ears. This is one of the louder cars that we have doing the CentreNATS circuit wherever we go around the country.
This is a big skid. This is going to rate fairly highly if he can carry it right through to the end. Massive smoke scores, good instant, good driving skill as well. And look at that, just a blanket right over the whole arena.
He's in there somewhere, that's what it looks like from where he sits. Poor Darren trying to find his way through the smoke. There's a wall out there. He's got to be very careful with getting that car turned.
Oh, he's done nicely. Just throttled his way out of there rather than steered his way out. That's a very clever piece of driving.
This badass burnout pad, as it's known here, is quite confined in its space, not as big as, say, Sydney Dragway or the Perth Motorplex, but he has made the most of every little inch.
I reckon that one's going to be setting the bar early. That's a really, really good skid from Darren Green, all the way over from WA, and that'll be one to beat.
We have some absolute muscle cars here in Alice Springs for the Red CentreNATS. This inaugural event has been huge, just like this thing.
Yeah, and a beautiful car this is too. The big XC coupe belonging to Kynan Hall. Absolute show quality, blown injected, massive amounts of power. It's only one of the first times he's got it out for a skid. Be really interesting to see how it goes. He's been a tough competitor for many, many years with his blown...
Oh, he's blown something. That is a huge fire underneath the bonnet. This show quality car on fire on the burnout pad, and he cuts the noise.
Oh, that's devastating for Kynan. That is, we said show quality. That is of the finest show quality, and I'm pretty certain that fire will not be taking any prisoners, but it will be taking some paint, I think.
That is such a shame. You hate to see it. It's such a beautiful car. Let's relive this moment once again.
It just really sounded like it was labouring, didn't it? It didn't quite get there. I don't know whether that's somewhere between the engine and the transmission. If it's let a trans go, it might have been building up a fair bit of load and it just couldn't handle it. But that's a real shame for Kynan.
And the crowd giving it one big send-off. One fat rat. Ready to go.
Now, this guy knows how to pedal. Dave Cofone, this is a big car. This is the best part of 2 tonne. That's probably well over 1,000 horsepower too, so probably not a bad power to weight ratio.
If ever you want a good sign at how far the burnout scene has come, it's not just cars that make power, but look good as well. This is a class example.
He rated very well with the judges too, I'd say. Got the revs right up there, nice and constant, using a fair part of the pad. That's something the judges will be looking for. Don't get yourself stuck in a corner. The pad's not huge, but they want to see you using every square inch of it to show off your driving skill.
Again, those flames just pouring out of the exhaust, piercing through the smoke. Looking back at the windscreen, you can just about see him through the middle, through the extinguishers from where we were earlier with Kynan Hall's fire, and there goes the left rear.
Yeah, this is tough. This will rate very well. Dave Cofone from South Australia. Whoa, a bit of flamage too. Don't you love these night burnouts?
And some flame around the back of the motor.
Oh, there is too. A couple in a row.
We have come to burn Alice Springs to the ground. And the crowd love it.
There he is. He's happy, Dave Cofone. Aren't the crowd getting behind this? They absolutely love it. They wouldn't have seen this quality, or this sort of quality of car up here probably ever, as far as burnout cars go.
And this venue's never seen a crowd of this size before. That was when the left rear went. Through the smoke, we saw more flames. A bit of excess rubber from outside the circuit building up there, but it was the fire inside the engine bay that was also a worry. But we're going to keep on pounding tyres. Saturday night, under lights in Alice Springs on the badass burnout pad. And here comes Ryan Pearson in Hold On. The Sydney sider flicks it in.
One of the toughest competitors getting around at the moment, Ryan Pearson. Rhino, as he's known to his mates, he has been getting right across the country, skidding here, there and everywhere, and doing a great job of it too. He sticks with the same driving style everywhere he goes, and it tends to fare fairly well for him. Big revs, constant revs, lots of smoke. I mean, just have a look at that. And he drives the car fairly well too. He tries to get to as much of the pad as he can.
The small block engine screaming out. Reliability has been the key to Ryan Pearson's burnout career of the last few years. When the noise goes out, he's going to leave it for the finals that are still to come. Judges watching on here, but these aren't the burnouts that would get you that golden ticket to CentreNATS just yet.
But they'll still be going pretty hard so they can get themselves into the final tomorrow. As we see right here with John O'Kelly, another South Australian car. Number plate says 355, but he's made the conversion over to LS. Got it right up there on the limiter too. They love the limiters too, these things. These LS engines, they cop an absolute hiding.
From Adelaide, he's going to be making the trip up to Mildura as well, so he'll be spending plenty of time on the road with this VK Commodore. Passenger hand out the window, egging this crowd on.
Pretty nice driving too, that from Jono. It's not making a bucket load of power like the blown cars that we've seen earlier on. Driving the car to the best of its ability, trying to get it right round for a 360, but you can just see it doesn't quite have the power that the other cars have. But he's giving this thing an absolute hiding. For something that's making 500, 600 horsepower, it's making some seriously good smoke, and he's having a ball out there too, John O'Kelly. Constant revs, I think that's the key. When you don't have bucket loads of horsepower, you've got to drive the car to its strengths, and that's exactly what Jono's doing here. And this will rate fairly well. I reckon this is a good chance to get him through to the finals tomorrow.
No shortage of smoke. He's on and off the brake just a little bit as he finds a new piece of real estate that he's not laid some rubber down on just yet. Again, crowd absolutely into it.
Just smart driving there from Jono. Just made sure that he never got himself stuck in the smoke. Always found himself a little bit of clear vision. So he had continuous driving and was able to show off the best of his skills. Right up on the limiter now. You can see those tyres starting to raise up. There we go. The left one's down. Was that a bit of a touch on the wall, or did he just keep it off?
I think he saved it. It was a great piece of driving. He's pumped up. So is this crowd. We need a quick break up here in Alice Springs, but the red CentreNATS is going off, so don't go anywhere. Not your regular Saturday night in Alice Springs. The red CentreNATS has been absolutely going off. And so far we've seen some big skids, and it's time to keep the show going.
Yeah, this guy is one of the crowd favourites wherever he goes. Chris Genter in Fromhell from New South Wales. Just got the new injector hat on this 515 cubic inch big block. Didn't think it could get any bigger, but this thing is reaching for the sky. Always puts on a bit of a spectacle. He's starting to get well known for a bit of flamage. Very, very spectacular flamage, mind you. But he's doing really well so far here today. Got the revs up there. Nice amounts of smoke. Seems to be driving it fairly well too. Oh, no!
There's a light show at the back.
He's still into it. Oh, that's big flames. That's big flames.
They're going to call a stop to it.
Oh, he doesn't want to stop.
The flames have gone out, so he's got away with it. Maybe just a little bit of rubber build up underneath.
Yeah, good work. This is good work. So, there it is again.
It's going to keep happening.
I was going to say he might lose a little bit of his score for constant smoke, but the thing just keeps flaring up. So, look, with stopping that many times, he's going to struggle to make it through to the finals, I think. But a very entertaining burnout nonetheless.
How about this for a man who was on fire 15 seconds ago and is on fire again? The crowd cannot believe their eyes. We have laid down swollen bits of rubber all through this burnout pad. That was entertaining, and in come the Fireys.
Yeah, a bit of work for the Fireys tonight. There has been a little bit of flamage. Poor old Chris Genter. He was on a good run until it went up. He would have been scoring well. Big instant smoke. Big constant smoke as well, and his driving was fairly good, but unfortunately just stopping those couple of times is going to cost him.
In comes one of the very best of the West, Matt Purnell in blackout. He has done burnouts all around this country, knows how to get the job done in front of the big crowds.
You're not wrong, done burnouts all over the country and done it in 3 different cars too, but I think this one is the pick of the bunch. Blackout. Blown injected big block, just one of the sweetest sounding engines around.
No stranger to CentreNATS, and definitely one of the guys to watch out for when we get back there. CentreNATS 29, January 7th to 10th. How about the shift light? Ignore it, just keep it planted.
That's great, isn't it? Just on and off the throttle, so he's obviously just dropping it below where he's got the shift at. Oh, what's happened there?
Bit of a headbanger in the middle of the car. So that's why we wear helmets in burnouts.
Absolutely.
It's like something out of the Three Stooges. How can you possibly know where you're going?
That's why he calls it blackout. That was like an eclipse. That's phenomenal footage.
And I think he's going to call a stop to this one. He's probably done enough to make it through to the finals. If the crowd can see him, they'll start cheering. I don't think they've realised he's got out of the car yet.
He's got his hands in the air waiting for some kudos, but they can't even see him.
There it is. They can't cheer if they can't see you. Alice Springs rules right there. But that was powerful stuff from Matt Purnell, and we'll more than likely see him again in the finals after a skid like that.
Oh, I think we will.
Oh, there's the moment.
I'm really not too sure what happened there.
They'll have a laugh about it later. We don't get too many burnout Mercedes.
No, you do not. Have a look at this thing. Blown injected from Wagen in WA. The Menace. Cliff Brockwell. It's a pretty nasty sounding thing too.
Here he goes. Oh, and straight away it's all over. Big problem around the, just underneath the injector hat where all the fuel lines are. Big flash of flame.
Nah, get off it, mate. Get off it. That's disappointing for Cliff. I was really looking forward to seeing that. Just dropping that fuel onto the pipes, probably. Oh. Yeah. Yep.
Look kind of like something you'd see with a burst panel exploding on some supercharger setups. Don't think this thing's running burst panels. It was just a big backfire.
Yeah, that's what it was. Just a bit of fuel, unfortunately. Anyway, hopefully we see Cliff back again.
Here comes the Good Friday Burnouts winner from the West.
This guy is one of the best. He is one of the best in the country, Darren Williams. And the interesting thing is, he's stuck with the carbies. It's a 460 big block, supercharged methanol carbies. A brilliant, brilliant exponent of the constant revs.
That foot is constantly to the firewall. And that is why it is just at its peak RPM the whole way through. It's a good tune-up. It's not easy with carbies, especially when you go to a place that's hot and humid like Alice Springs. It changes everything, but he has it on point.
If you want to score well, keep your revs up. There's a category called constant smoke. If you're on the revs from start to finish, good chance you're going to score well in that category, which I reckon Darren has certainly done there. Good chance we'll be seeing him right up the pointy end in the finals with that one.
This is a bit of an unusual one. We don't often see a car that is good on the quarter mile coming over and having a crack on the burnout pad. But this is Nick Sedaris from Adelaide in a 10-second car down the quarter mile. It also does this.
And does this very nicely too, Nick Sedaris. Another South Australian car up here in Alice Springs. That's a steel bumpered car with an LS conversion and a turbo slapped on as well, so making half reasonable power. Revs are not too bad, a little bit on and off. Oh, another flare-up. It's certainly hot up in the red centre. But it's gone out, and he's going to keep going. Just really wants to keep those revs up, especially with a turbo car. Yeah, they're flaring up again. And, you know, I actually reckon that's because he's on and off the throttle, and that's starting to be a serious fire. Nick Sedaris.
His passenger was enjoying it more than anyone in the crowd.
The passenger wasn't going anywhere, though.
He nearly lost his eyebrows getting that selfie, but it was worth it all the same. The boys are out. In come the fireys.
Yeah, just got the camera phone out, just making sure he gets every piece of that. Yeah, and there we go. Nick on and off the throttle in the V8, and it's just dumping raw fuel straight into the pipes, straight onto the tyres, and that's why he's had that fire.
Here's the shot again.
Plenty of enthusiasm. I like that guy.
That is just brave. Not scared one little piece. Looking forward to hopefully seeing that car back if it hasn't done too much damage. How do you like your Statesman? This thing is mental. Listen to the blower.
Yeah, Jeremy Bond, blown injected LS in the big WH Statesman. Another New South Welshman made the big trip up to the red centre. And he gives this thing a hard time. He really gives it a hard time. It's a heavy car too. This is another one that's the best part of 2 tonne. But absolutely giving it plenty. Probably wants to keep the revs just a little bit more constant. You can see as he flicks it around there, the trail of smoke behind him is not huge. It's pretty good, but it's not huge. We saw Darren Williams earlier on. Constant throttle, big revs, high tyre speed. That would be getting Jeremy some more points here if he could do that. Having said that, this is still an entertaining, good scoring burnout.
Can't believe the whole blower shifting from side to side every time he breathes on that throttle. The crowd can just see him. There it is. Look at it shaking around violently next to the gauges.
Giving those engine mounts a fair old workout.
It's brutal on mechanics, this thing. So too are the rest of the burnout cars. Now we're starting to get some better smoke out of the back as well.
Yeah, the smoke scores are not too bad. It looks like he's not too far away from getting the tyres down. That guy's very keen for him to get the tyres down. It's a big, heavy car. We mentioned that earlier. Hard for him to throw around, so certainly driving it to the best of his ability. Apart from that bit where he gets himself stuck in the corner, but if he's got the tyres down, it might not be a bad result for him. Almost perfect timing, you could say.
Oh, that was exciting stuff. Don't go anywhere. Stick around, because the red CentreNATS has plenty more to offer on the other side of this break. The red CentreNATS, the Burnouts, a chance to buy a ticket to CentreNATS 29 in January, Canberra 2016. And another big guy to watch out for. Whoa, we're getting smoky in the cabin. One tough HG.
Yeah, Walt Gerzakowski, Mr. Consistency. He's top 5 or top 10 wherever he goes. And this is exactly why. I've mentioned it a couple of times tonight, the constant revs. It's a surefire way to get a good score in one of the categories. Just keep the revs up and you're going to do well in the constant smoke category. He's doing well in the volume of smoke category too, I can tell you what. That is really pumping it out.
And colourful smoke too, so the fans getting right into it as it blends blue, orange, pink and purple into the night sky here in Alice Springs. Crowd getting right into this one. But I tell you what, this is so smoky. I'm not sure that Warren exactly knows where he's going because he's pulled that thing up in the middle of the pad.
Look at the smoke coming out from the cab. He's just gone a bit static. He's got no idea where he is. I know from experience how that feels, and it's not a great situation to be in. But he's still going. He's still going. He's got some kind of bearing as to where he is, and actually doing pretty well.
Well, if he gets the tyres down in this scenario, it'll be impressive. There's a wall coming. Gets it turned around just. That left rear was on the way out. Oh my goodness me.
Look at that.
It's an inferno in there.
He would have no idea where he is. He's doing a fantastic job. It's a fair bit of bravery to keep the revs up in that sort of situation. He's got to tie it down. And that might be enough to push him through to the finals, will it?
He's probably getting out expecting to see Ayers rock after that. He's got no idea where he is. Finally, the smoke is clearing.
Oh, there he is. Looks a bit worse for where he's been sucking in all that smoke for the last couple of minutes. That's phenomenal.
I'm impressed that he managed to get that left rear into the state that it was in, given the fact that it was completely hazed in. We keep the big names coming. This is Fear. Fred Watson, another one of these West Aussies.
Yeah, Fred is one of the toughest competitors in the country in this beautifully presented Monaro. Blown injected small block, around about 380 cubes. Really likes to give this thing a rev too.
Already locked in for 2016 Burnout Masters. Second at this year's Masters. He travels with this car to every corner of the country. He's been to Cairns, he's been to Canberra, obviously with the Masters, but here he is in Alice Springs. He's all the way from Perth.
And he does well everywhere he goes. And this is a good example of why. Really technical driver, Fred. He likes to go out with a bit of a plan as to where he's going to take it and typically sticks to it. Make sure he doesn't get himself boxed in. Really, really good burnout. Always enjoyable to watch.
A good example of a blown injected car that can keep the power down, not on and off the throttle. Good throttle control.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of these guys do get on and off the throttle, but there's really no need to. You can hear him feathering it a little bit, but not really on and off. It's fairly constant.
As we say it, he starts to tramp up and down a little bit, but he needed to get that little bit of extra real estate in the middle of this.
Crowd absolutely loving this, and why wouldn't they? Absolute extreme quality of cars up here. And he's got the tyres down, Fred Watson, as we see him climb out of the car. He's pretty happy. Look at the flames out the back. Isn't that amazing? Methanol is just a beautiful thing.
Well, Alice Springs has had their first taste of fear. This thing is unbelievable. Always puts on a show wherever Fred takes it. And the crowd lapping that one up.
You can see that tip in there. The car is set up very well. He wasn't going at extreme speed, but he was able to do a beautiful 360 to get himself into the pad.
And now it's time for a lady to take centre stage.
Debbie Gray, she's been around for as long as any of these guys. And she's one of the best. She won CentreNATS, I think, back in number 14, so nearly 15 years ago. She's been a regular feature in the Burnout Masters up at CentreNATS. And this is a beautiful 67 Camaro.
The crowd are climbing all over this place. It's a cauldron under lights here. Very confined space for burnouts, which makes it even better if you ask me. The pad was extended after a very generous donation from David Harders. He left some money for this venue in his will, and that's why we name it the Harders Burnout Pad.
And Debbie Gray giving the hard-ass burnout pad a fair old pounding. 502 cubic inches of a blown injected Chevrolet power. She's very passionate about her burnouts, is Debbie, with her husband Peter. They travel all over the countryside, doing skids here, there and everywhere, and I tell you what, you will not find a couple of people that are more into their burnouts. These guys are hardcore burnouts. Debbie gets really emotional every time she gets out of the car. She loves the feel of the crowd. She loves smashing a set of tyres, and these guys love her. There she is, look at that. Feel the adrenaline, Debbie.
How good is that? Alice Springs are going to tear down this venue. They're having so much fun, and if they haven't yet, well, they might be about to, because here comes Lynchy. This guy's a cult hero of the burnout scene, and this is why.
The Prince of Burnouts, the ultimate entertainer. I think that's the first time we've seen do 2 360s into this tight little pad.
He's famous for 3, but there's only room for 2. He also likes to use the exits and entries.
Look at that.
How do you fit?
Look at that.
Corolla around there. Unbelievable car control.
This guy's a genius. He's just flicked the party switch from 7.5 up to 8,000. Just phenomenal.
He had some special cargo this week. He took Channel 7's Mark Beretta from Sunrise for a bit of a spin. He's a Northern Territory ambassador, is Mark Beretta, and he's having a bit of a taste of Alice Spring Lynchy life.
Now, I don't know if Barrett's got a choice as to which car he got in or if he got some good advice, but I'll tell you what, you don't get much of a better ride than this.
Never disappoints, never fails to impress. He was unlucky not to have finished higher in the CentreNATS Masters early this year. Rain, unfortunately, quite literally rained on his parade actually at Canberra in January, but this man is going to be seriously hungry in 2016.
Giving that limiter a fair old hiding is Lynchy. He absolutely never backs down. Tyres are gone. That's not going to stop him.
Oh, we're on the rims at the red CentreNATS. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Lynchy. Flings the helmet off, as he does every time, and runs to the crowd. Just about
nearly
pulls
the fence over.
Oh, a quick swig of beer. This man is absolute entertainment.
Yeah, the consummate entertainer, the Prince of Burnouts. And great to see the boys wearing the race suits too.
Makes sense. Half the cars have been on fire so far tonight in Alice Springs. The energy around this man is incredible. Here he is once more, running up to the fans, high fives all round. And the best part is there's still plenty more to come. The finals from the red CentreNATS are not too far away. Don't go anywhere.
Everyone who's involved in this event's really happy. We, we knew that we were on to some really good things. The temporary permit for cruising for unregistered cars was always going to be our real big proposition. That was going to be the game changer for an event like this, and that's worked. Blown cars going through the Macca's drive-through, that was always our vision for this event. It sounds crazy, but if there's an image that's been going around about this event, that's it. It's and guys and girls saying, I've had my car for 10 years, this is the first time I've driven it on a road. And that's really cool, you know. We're always positive and confident that it was going to be good, but when it's excellent and it's just year one and you've got more than 450 cars and thousands of people going to the events, like it's pretty mind-blowing. And I suppose again it just shows how much interest and passion there is in the automotive community. This is a wide church, this event. It's, modified cars, it's restos, it's customs, it's drags, it's burnouts, all of that stuff. It's exotics. They've all come together in Alice Springs just to go, we love cars.
The body itself was started in 1980. Started to rebuild the car and go for it from there. You got a small block 5.7, running twin 4-barrel carbies, but it's just a pretty good little car to drive, what I've driven of it.
A dynamometer is a tool used for measuring horsepower and performing diagnostics on vehicles. I start the vehicle up and run it up to a speed, and we do a calibration of the vehicle's gear ratios so that we can read an accurate torque figure. And then basically we go into a separate screen and perform what's known as a full load or power graph, and we measure the vehicle's horsepower and torque.
This car originally belonged to my father. He was a mechanic like myself. And over the years he started to do it up, and basically I carried on his legacy after he's passed away. He had a mild 350 Chev in it that he was going to go towing a caravan with, but he was a hot rodder. He would understand that now with a toughest nuts engine in the front of it, he would still be happy. Hoping to make 450 horsepower at the rear wheels, so I'm pretty happy with that. And obviously at the rear wheels that means the tyres never hook up the bitumen. That's what good Chevy power does to a tail shaft.
One of the big things last night, I think the guys with the Masters, they come up here to qualify. There's 3 or 4 guys just haven't been able to qualify, and they've come here specifically. And last night the carnage was absolutely incredible, so there was a few disappointed people. Or maybe they spent all night working on their cars. We'll see today.
Last night's skid, this is the second time I've used this combo. Going out last night, I still took it pretty conservative, done the skid, and right towards the very end of the skid, both tyres smashed off. Then I had a catch can fill up and just dumped a little bit on the exhaust, caught on fire. So that's all sorted out.
I'll just get it back. Yeah!
Yeah, to be completely honest, I don't know what happened. I'm hoping it's just a fire, but I think it might be a little bit more than that. I know there is a hole in the sump, but I don't know how bad it is.
The skids are a bonus. It's the road trip thing and the camaraderie and mixing up and having a few drinks and talking to all the guys, all the other competitors. That's what we really do it for. And the skids is a bonus, like I said, like meeting great people and getting to see the country. And this is a transport that gets us around Australia to all our burnout comps we've been travelling around at the moment. Heaps of room for kids, family, tyres, fuel, tools, everything on hand. Through to the party area of a night time, barbies and drinks and that. So yeah, this is inside, up the front here, double bed, bunks for the kids, kitchen where I spend most of my time when I'm out cooking and looking after my wife on a holiday, TVs, heaps of room, toilet showers, and through the back, that was built for old mate's electrical business, which is now car area, washing machine, good husband always doing the washing for her. Yeah, and then we've got a swing out TV also, so you can watch the footy of a night time when you're out having barbecue with the other guys, so having a few drinks. So Yeah, I like it.
After the amazing show under lights here on the burnout pad for the Red CentreNATS, the crowd has come back in their droves for what promises to be a huge day. Beautiful Northern Territory weather for the finals, and we have lined them up and they're all ready to go to compete for a golden ticket to CentreNATS in 2016, and we are going to kick it off with a man who's been there before. Whoa, he clipped the wall on the way in. Diesel kicking this one off in spectacular fashion.
Yeah, Diesel's just tipped it in then and tagged the wall on the way through. Probably not the ideal start. Having said that, he's got the smoke scores right up there. A very nice tip in, so the driving score's going to be doing well. Also, got it right down to the other end, so he's touching a fair bit of real estate. This will be scoring fairly well early with the judges.
Yeah, this is when the judges do their work. They had a relatively easy night just watching for the qualifying night, but now they need to pick a winner and they need to send a man off to CentreNATS. This one, he's already going after a big win and Good Friday burnouts in Perth. And wouldn't he love to add Red CentreNATS victory to that? Oh, how did he hit that gap? Impossible.
He is a good driver. Hopefully that little tag on the way in is not going to cost him points to keep him out of the top scores.
Throws it round once again. Looking over the bonnet. Everything working away. We've lost vision of him in the smoke. That's always a good sign.
It is a good sign. A lot of judges say if we can't see him, he's probably doing well.
A little bit of damage to that right rear from when the tailgate just slid down the wall. But this will score highly with the judges. Alice Springs has been treated to one of the best. Diesel, what a display that was. And it started off in spectacular fashion, just got the signage.
He only just nicked it. He was trying something different. He was taking a wide berth to try and tip it down into that left-hand corner. Ooh. Not much in it, not much in it.
That is as close as you can get. So really messing things up, but he got away with it. Oh, this is you-know-who.
Straight up onto the limiter. Doesn't do it any other way. Comes in right-hand down as well. Oh, something's happened there. It's bogged down a little bit.
That was very unlynchy.
But he's back into it. That doesn't matter. Didn't get his typical 2 or 3 donuts right down into the deep end.
It doesn't necessarily mean better or worse scores, though, does it?
No, look, it doesn't. I think the only thing that will affect him there is he lost a little bit of constant smoke when the revs dropped down.
I think he's trying to make up for it, though.
He certainly sets the bar when it comes to the driving skill scores. Judges will be looking at that and saying, he's a 20, and everyone else work backwards from there. And you heard him flick the party switch again. Unique feature of this little Corolla. Flicks the limiter from 7,500 up to 8,000 when he gets about halfway through the burnout.
Again, already qualified for the Burnout Masters 2016, so this is all about fun and maybe claiming a few more big crowns along the way. All of these drivers want to say they won the first ever Red CentreNATS. That's more like it from Lynchy.
Yeah, it sure is. Tyres are just about gone. There we are, out of the car, Lynchy. He will be happy. Crowd absolutely loves him.
Didn't do the usual helmet toss, bit unusual. This is on board with that very strange beginning to that burnout. It wasn't usually the double whip that we get from him as it bogged down a little bit.
Maybe just a bit of a fuel surge. Anyway, no fuel surge here. Jeremy Bond got the butterflies wide open on the Fat WH.
Just 28 years old as we watch above. Plenty of smoke.
Yeah, the smoke's a lot better than what he did last night. He's got the revs a lot more constant, keeping the tyre speed up.
If you want to know what the throttle's doing, just look at the butterflies.
Yeah, this will be doing well with the judges. Constant smoke, going very nicely. Volume of smoke right up there as well.
Hard to believe that this car was cruising down the streets of Alice Springs early this week. Even went through the McDonald's drive-through. He's doing a drive-through of a different kind right now, fogging it up. Look at the butterflies working away, and these tyres haven't got long left.
You love that unique sound of a blown injected outlet, just copping a hiding, and the tyres are off the back of the big fat WH, and there's Jeremy out of the car.
Bond, Jeremy Bond. And that was a very good skid indeed. Never easy when you got so many eyes watching you. Big crowds here this weekend. Enjoyable skid. Well, after an amazing performance that saw him pretty much smoke in the entire Northern Territory borderline, he's back to go again.
Big Walt Gerzakowski from Queensland. One tough HG. This thing is as tough as nails. 400 cubes, Chevy small block, supercharger with a couple of methanol carbies sitting on top. And those constant revs again, just pluming the smoke out of the back of this very tidy ute. We've said it before, but this is a show quality ute. It's not just a dirty, rotten old paddock bomb. This is a very, very tidy car. And Wal and his wife Jenny travel all over Australia with their very tidy transporter that we saw earlier on, doing it in style. And for a tidy car like this, you need a pretty good setup to get it around the country.
You mentioned earlier, Az, that he's always near the front of the scorecards at the end of the day. A little bit of water out the front, so we're getting hot here. But he did finish top 5 at CentreNATS 2016 in the Burnout Masters, so he knows how to run with the best.
He had a couple of ignition issues last night, pinched a few parts from a couple of his mates, and got this tidy ute back up and running again.
Oh, nails! No. Nails the wall with the left rear. We talk about how this is one of the most pristine burnout cars anywhere in the country, and he just dinged it.
And the consistency thing that I talk about, he may still finish in the top 10 with that, but that's probably going to rob him of some points, which may have seen him in the top 3 or maybe the top 5.
Nasty hit it was. He'll know that it's happened. He'll put on a brave face. Look at this crowd.
Yeah,
he looks disappointed though.
He's a bit disappointed. But the crowd still like it. That's the main thing. It's all for the crowd. Oh, don't look too close, Walt.
Goes to assess the damage. Let's have another look on the front brakes and swings around.
Yeah, I reckon he was thinking about going left hand down and he's gone right instead, and that's what's cost him.
The Burnout Masters on tour in Alice Springs at the Red CentreNATS, trying to find a ticket for the 2016 Burnout Masters at CentreNATS in Canberra early January, as we send Exterminate back out onto the hard-ass burnout pad.
Oh! Oh, no! It was such a good tip in too. He's taken it in nice and deep. He's gone right hand down, but he's bent a lot of stuff on that Falcon, but he's still into it.
He's going to enjoy the rest of his time here in Alice anyway.
Yeah, well, let's forget about that and watch the rest of this skid.
Look at that blower belt working away.
Yeah, you can hear it whining too. Got the revs up nice and high. Fairly consistent revs. Good smoke scores. His instant was good. His constant's very good. The volume's not too bad. I think it's about a 377 stroked Clevo, 671 and a couple of methanol carbies sitting up top. Be making some good horsepower. 800, 900 horsepower, I reckon.
How's the violence of that shot, just rubber being thrown around. That's what it's like when you're a spectator next to the burnout pad, and that's the result. Oh, wow, how's the damage on the left rear?
Yeah, those concrete barriers don't really move. Well, Damien Piscineri from Western Australia. That was tough. Beautiful tipping too, if he just could have pulled it up.
He did so well to miss the first wall, couldn't miss the second one. And after that, just thought, right.
He was committed. He wasn't pulling up.
He had the angry pills on after that moment. Here comes Yatesy.
Yeah, Scotty Yates from Victoria. This car's had a makeover in the last 12 months. Was fairly stock. He's got the big tubs on board now. Tunnel rammed LS. Nice tip in. Nice and deep. Got it all the way around. There's that familiar LS limiter bash.
Good use for a sunroof. Letting the smoke out of the cabin. And a wild burnout car, he'll need it. So far, so good. Great car control. Plenty of smoke.
Yeah, the driving's been very good. It's touched all corners of the pad already, and the smoke hasn't died off one bit.
Needs to get it around here without touching the walls. Nice.
Yeah, perfectly done. Judges will be all over that. They'll be looking at car control, but driver skill, and that was a lot of skill to be able to do that. He meant it, and they'll be noting it down.
Well, this is the skid of a man who will surely end up inside the top 10. It could be good enough to try and win one of those golden tickets to CentreNATS 2016. Great burnout, Scott Yates.
That was fantastic. That's as good as I've seen him do. He'll be pumped with that. Have a look at him. He's wrapped. Oh, yeah.
When you travel all the way to Alice Springs with one job in mind, you want to make sure that you nail it. And Yates, he did. Continue the party now with Blackout.
Instant smoke is off the charts.
Matty Purnell.
Nice controlled tip in.
Finished top 5 at the Good Friday Burnouts, which was, again, one of those chances to grab a golden ticket to an event that he's been through plenty of times, CentreNATS.
Yeah, I reckon Matty's got some unfinished business at CentreNATS. He's gone up there in pretty good form a couple of times, but just been unable to make it happen on the big stage. Oh, just a little bit of a flare-up out the back. Nothing too dramatic. This is tough. Big, big smoke scores. Taking it nice and steady with the driving.
Oh, and again, they are laying it on the line. Championship Sunday, and Alice Springs is claiming some cars. Huge hit on the concrete wall, and that is a mistake that he rarely makes. Although a burnout pad that's possibly smaller than the ones that he's used to competing on over in the West. It caught him out. He's out of the car. Entertaining skid again, but a shame that it just put that little, I guess, well, it just tarnished it slightly, didn't it, this little tap on the wall.
That's all it was. Other than that little tag on the wall, it was pretty close to a perfect burnout.
We've had a massive crowd all weekend long. That's Saturday night, the qualifying night for the skids. Biggest crowd that Alice Springs Inland Dragway has ever seen. And on Sunday, they've come back to enjoy the finals. And now they can enjoy watching one of the very best. Fred Watson in fear, this famous, dare I say, infamous Monaro.
Yeah, very solid tip in from Fred too. Got a couple of 360s in before he got down to the bottom end. Using up a lot of the pad early, because he's going to smoke it in fairly soon. It's a smart drive. Taking it back up to the start line as well.
Oh, in confined spaces, the big Monaro still gets the job done, feathering the throttle, but he's setting himself up for another big entry here. Here comes Fear.
So one of the things you've got to be concerned about when you're tipping it in fast like that is that you're going to lose smoke. But this thing makes enough horsepower, enough torque to be able to keep the tyres turning, to keep the volume of smoke up and the consistency of smoke up, to be able to do what he's doing now.
Yeah, good smoke scores all round for Fear, surely. Missed out on cashing in at the Good Friday Burnouts over in Perth. Just missed out on CentreNATS Burnout Masters Glory finishing as runner-up at Canberra. But this could be a skid good enough to put him at the top at the Red CentreNATS.
I think you're right, he's lucky to be here. He had some technical issues, but he's got it all sorted out and he's got the tyres down in the big Fear Monaro. As we see him climb out of the car, he's happy. He's happy, he knows he's done a good job.
He's going to come over and egg on the crowd a little bit more. Fred Watson has put on a display for the Alice Springs crowd. Expect this skid to score highly. There's still a few more left to go before we can find out who's off to CentreNATS 2016, so don't go anywhere. Counting down the last few cars at Red CentreNATS. What a fantastic addition to the Northern Territory Motorsport calendar this event has been, and it's time to go around and round with the Tirana.
Yeah, nice tip in. Darren Green got it round a couple of times. Nice and early. He's got the revs right up, feathering it a little bit, but smoke scores are right up there. These are, these are close to 10 out of 10s.
38-year-old West Aussie making the most of his time in the sun in Alice Springs. So far, so good. This is going to be right up there if he can continue on with this skid. You look at him searching for a clean piece of burnout pad that he hasn't been to yet, and he finds it.
Yeah, this is a really tough combo of Darren. Blown injected small block, moved over from the carbies, and really starting to make a name for himself now that he stuck the ejector hat on top of it with a couple of top 3 places at some pretty high-profile events.
Heat, smoke, plenty of revs, a little bit of fire to boot.
Seen really jump on it when he saw that area of clean pad in front of him. Just knew he could go a lot harder.
And this hard-ass burnout pad he's used nearly every single square inch. Slightly narrower than the burnout pad that we go racing on at CentreNATS. But there it is, the tyres are down, and that Tirana put on a show.
That's a contender. That is right up the pointy end, Darren Green from WA.
Man, LX 383, right on the limiter to the very end. Used all of the burnout pad, great smoke scores, fantastic car control, and the judges will be impressed. Got the tyres down too, which always helps. Okay, we're going to keep the show rolling on. This is Dave Cafone. Big Chevy power. He's been in the top 10 at the Masters before. South Aussie swings it in.
Yeah, nice tip in, Dave Cafone. You can see the butterflies are just cracked. I think this thing's just shy of 500 cubic inches. Big blower, big injector hat, methanol, making well over 1,000 horsepower. You only just need to crack them open and turn the tyres as violently as he's doing here.
Just saw a shot of it then. The butterflies slightly ajar, making all its power down low. Look at it working away.
Bulk smoke. That's right up there in the volume of smoke category. Constant as well. Nice big revs. You can hear the blower whining. Just the smoke tailing off the back of the boot there. That looks really cool.
Big, powerful skid. Right when you need it, when the judges are watching, with the golden tickets that are up for grabs.
Oh yeah, tyres are down. That's tough.
Out of the car, the crowd are impressed. The judges will be impressed. That was a big burnout.
We've seen some real top-notch skids here this afternoon, and that was definitely one of them.
Oh, they have come in their thousands to be here this weekend. And they have been treated. Not just the burnouts have been spectacular, the whole event has been spectacular. And we push on with the finals.
Ryan Pearson it is in hold on with Jake Myers on board. He'll be getting some quality footage out the window there. Very tough car. This HT Holden of Rhinos. There's not too much on it that's not black. Blown small block on board, always pulling fantastic revs out of it. Had some issues last night though. Some transmission problems, had to go hunting around Alice Springs to get a replacement transmission, which someone very generously donated to him, and it seems to be a pretty good one too, because it's pushing this small block powered HT into a pretty serious contention position.
We call it hold on. Jake Myers is having to hold on to that GoPro out of the passenger side window from Richmond in New South Wales, up near the Blue Mountains. Very big skid, this one from Ryan Pearson, who has been deserving of a ticket to CentreNATS. Been putting on big skids at shows like CentreNATS over in New South Wales, and would dearly love to be on his way to CentreNATS 29, and he's putting on a pretty good show right here, deserving of being there, absolutely.
Yeah, really good driving here too from Ryan. You can see him get right down into the tight part of the corners where the fresh concrete was. He's really trying to get the most out of his driving skill as well as the smoke categories.
Still going.
This is a serious set of tyres.
We talked about the reliability of this car. He's experimented with different tyres in the past. We got flames pouring off the right-hand side. I think he took to CentreNATS once with a set of truck tyres. Didn't work out too well for him.
No, I think he's done some research on the tyres, and I reckon he's got it just right this time. They are gone. A little bit of flamage at the end, just for a bit of show. that will be right up there. Judges will be all over this. That'll be hard to beat.
Great skid from Hold On.
Yep, well done. Really, really well done. He'll be pumped with that. Big night screwing the car together last night.
1969 HT Holden, and he pedalled that thing constantly throughout the skid. Look at the smoke. Volume and content, it was there the whole time. Bit of flame, but thankfully that didn't hamper him. It was quite obliging, actually, that flame, and he's going to drive it out. I think Jake enjoyed that one as well. That was unbelievable the whole way through, and the judges have a very big job in picking a winner.
This is an amazing, amazing event. This is truly an Australian gem. My voice is gone. You come up here and you just can't help but get involved. It's Alice Springs. We're in the middle of nowhere, and there's all these awesome cars driving around on the street, and there's burnouts, there's drag racing, and there's sunshine. Who would have thought sunshine in the middle of the year? I come from Adelaide, it's freezing cold. The best part about coming up here was hopping off the plane and walking into the airport because the weather was so nice. And you know, there's cars like this behind us. It is just an amazing event, and I'm so glad they've decided to hold it, and I'm coming back next year.
Does not get any better than this. This is fantastic. I'm absolutely stoked. There were so many tough cars, and to say that you had to win is like a big call, and I'm stoked to win up against some of the toughest cars in Australia.
Put your hands together for the inaugural Burnout Master for 2015, Fred Watson!
Well, how about that? And we have found 3 guys to hand out the golden tickets to CentreNATS. Congratulations goes to Ryan Pearson, Jeremy Bond, and Scott Yates in Yatesy, as some of the other guys ahead of them already had tickets. They're the lucky men that'll be going to CentreNATS 29 early January in Canberra.
The red CentreNATS champion for 2015 is a green 48 FX Holden. Well done, John Kerwin Walker.
We just came here for the fact that it was the first, it's the Nats, it was something that we just wanted to do. Came down with a mate and we just thought, let's do it, let's do it, let's just enjoy it.
Best car event we've ever had in the town. Fantastic.
The biggest highlight was the acceptance of the town. I think we're all moving here.
For sure, we'll be back.
2 days of cruising, burnouts, drags, elites, show cars, grass driving, thousands of punters, all in the heart of Australia for the first red CentreNATS.
Well, I'm amazed at how much people have embraced the red CentreNATS. It's just gone through the veins of everybody. They've really taken it on board.
Burnout Masters really turned it up to a new level. Do we have to wait a whole year for the next one? I can't wait. Red CentreNATS 2016, I'm going to be here.
I've never seen him so crazy after a burnout ever.
It's been a massive day, so to get out there and do a second skid, we've come all this way, so it was absolutely pumped.
15 cars, nothing left in the tank. It was a real high quality show. It just shows that the generation of Burnout Masters is growing, it's really competitive, and there are new guys knocking on the door to get out that top table.
The guys, the CentreNATS guys and everybody else involved has put on an unreal show. For the territory and everybody involved, it's hat off to the guys. They've done a wonderful job.
Outdone their expectations. You know, they were thinking they'll probably get 120 cars or something the first year. They've ended up with 400, and I think a lot of people over Australia wishing that they had have come. So next year's looking good already.
Blown us away. It hasn't exceeded our expectations, it's blown us away. The social media, everybody texting everybody else saying, geez, I wish I was there. And it could have easily been 600-700 cars.
We've got some good plans for 2016. I think we'll start with more of the same, but bigger and better. The Chief, Adam Giles, is pretty keen to see us grow this event, and we've got a couple of pretty wild plans on the table, but, you know, they'll come out in time.
So it was a fantastic event. The people in Alice Springs were just so nice. They really were.
The local community, they've gotten right behind it. And we're excited too because it's something that, you know, it's out of reach for us back home.
Like, we were amazed to see how many local cars who came out of the woodwork for the event. It was just really, really good.
It's tourism, it's the car scene, just brings a whole vibe, a buzz back to the town. It's just fantastic.